Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? I have that one performance car that refuses to die. It's this car right here. This is your 2025 Ford Mustang GT. But before we get into this V8 powered rear-wheel drive performance car, let's talk about what's going on here. So you heard correctly. The Mustang refuses to die. Ever since 1965, that model year, the Mustang has been in solid production every single year. Can't say that about the Camaro, obviously. Can't say that about the Challenger, obviously. But one that may surprise you is you can't even say that about the Corvette, because in 1983, there was no actual production model. Now, when it comes to price, things are getting more and more expensive every single day, especially if you want some type of performance. And what's fascinating is a lot of brands are getting rid of V8 powered performance cars in their lineup, and they're going with a smaller displacement engine like the upcoming Dodge Charger 6-pack. So what I want to find out is this Mustang GT, especially if you go with a base entry level trim, is it the most affordable V8 performance car that you could buy right now? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, this has to be one of the most popular colors. It's called Vapor Blue. I'm a little over it, but I know, like I said, a lot of people still find this color very, very tasteful. My color choice, if I was buying one, would be Grabber Blue. Absolutely love Grabber Blue on a Mustang. Now, when it comes to what you're getting for the money, you're going to get full LED headlights. So LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and the good news is that you're going to have some nice bright light, especially at night, and you got some really cool daytime running lamps with the turn signals. The zonk is fake vents. On a GT, there should not be fake vents. That's a big, big no-no. Now, this particular Mustang GT does have some options, but I really want to consider a base Mustang GT, because that's going to give you, obviously, the most V8 performance car value. Now, as we come across the front grille, when you go GT, you're getting your silver Mustang pony. Goes all the way back to 1964 and a half. GT also gets you the gloss black grille with the two functional inlets on both sides. Really gives it a nice, mean, aggressive look to it. On the lower portion, you got the flat black, fully functional. And then, of course, the way that they blend in that lower lip splitter looks really good. So from an aerodynamic standpoint, performance car-wise, you're getting a lot of good aero. The problem is those fake vents on each corner. I'm not really a big fan of those, but you do have that nice large grille. Now, as we rise up, you are going to get a functional heat extractor, gloss black, just like the upper grille, and you are getting a little bit of a bulge. It's not as big as the previous generation, but you still get a bulge. Coming around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. I personally like these wheels. V-spoke design, metallic silver, nice bright silver, pops nicely with the Vapor Blue, and then you'll notice that you do get Brembo brakes, 6-piston calipers up front with the Mustang name on them. The reason why I like these wheels, it goes back to 1970. If you look at those wheels that they were running on the Trans Am Mustangs, Parnelli Jones and everybody with those Mustangs, this wheel looks very similar, and that's why I like the style to it. Let me know how you feel about it. I know a lot of people are going to be in the comments saying, I want black wheels. Well, guess what? There's about 6 different wheel choices you could go with your Mustang. This is just one of them. And like I said, I am okay with it. I like the style of the wheel. I know Steven is not the biggest fan of the wheel, but hey, to each their own, as they say. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? It's a 19-inch wheel. Tires, all 4 corners are 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall. Just looks good the way it sits here. Mustang always has had the better stance, just sitting still, compared to a Camaro or a Challenger. Now, working our way down the side, of course, you got that 5.0 badge. 5050 gotta go. You got a lot of go-go juice underneath that hood. Color matched on the mirror caps. And then just like up front, with the Aero, I like the way they do that side skirt extension. You do have the power going to the rear wheels. That's really the true essence. I know everybody's like, I want all-wheel drive. Listen, drive a rear-wheel drive performance car. It'll turn boys into men. Working our way towards the rear, I like the way this one's got a color match, vapor blue trunklet spoiler. Of course, we're also gonna have a torsion limited slip diff out back. And then really one of my favorite parts is how they got rid of a lot of the gloss black on the trunk. Everything is painted. You got the GT logo looking good. And then this one has the optional Ford Performance Active exhaust. Now the great news is it looks fantastic, slash cut, staggered tips. It also can be adjusted sound-wise, louder or quieter, plus it adds extra horsepower. So how could that be a bad thing? And then you got your flat black lower diffuser area. But if you look at the price point of this vehicle, some of the other vehicles that would be an option would be something like a Toyota Supra, a Nissan Z, and the upcoming Charger 6-pack. There's not a lot of choices at this price point, and if you know your cars, none of those cars I just mentioned has a V8 engine. But why don't we go ahead, since we're talking about a V8, let's pop the hood and check out the Coyote underneath it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You go pop your hood on your Supra or your Z, you're not gonna have one of these. There it is, big, bad, bold, 5-liter badge on that very tasteful engine cover. And I love the intake runners. I love to run my hands all over them. You got 8 of them because we got that V8, twin throttle body V8. And we have the most powerful GT, not Dark Horse, but GT. You're looking at 486 horsepower, 418 pound-feet of torque. You can get your 6-speed manual, or you can get a 10-speed automatic. 0 to 60 with the automatic, 3.9 seconds. Quarter mile in 12.3 seconds at 114 miles an hour. Top speed, 155 miles an hour. The car with the automatic weighs right around 4,000 pounds. MPGs, 15 in the city, 24 on the highway. So, me personally, I would go 6-speed. Duh. This has an automatic, but hey, there's a lot of people that don't want to do their own shifting. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what this V8 sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Vapor Blue 2025 Mustang GT. Here's a little fun fact for you. Makes me laugh every time I think about it. So back when I was a senior in high school, starting price for a Mustang GT, well, actually not even starting price, but a Mustang GT was around $19,000. This one, it's a little bit more. So starting MSRP for a Mustang GT in model year 2025 is right around $47,000. In today's market, that's actually not too bad, to be honest with you. That's less than the new Supra and a new Z. Just saying. This particular one has some options, like the automatic, so you can save yourself some money by not getting that. But this one has an MSRP of $58,000. Still, compared to the competition, V8 performance. Let's see what you get. To the door panels. I do like the nice clean style. You got a soft touch material throughout, some tasteful silver bits to really tie it into that classic Mustang style. We got the B&O sound system and a door pocket that's large enough for a big Buford and a large fry and a banana shake. Now going from the door panel to the dash, shake, shake, shake. You got your shake and bake Mustang badge right there. Love the way they're doing some nice stitching and the soft touch even on the side here. And then up top you are going to get the massive screens, which are not my favorite. 13.1 inch infotainment system screen, full touch screen. The good news is you got a lot of different things you could go through. The bad news is you got to touch the screen to get to them. All your AC controls. You do get, on this particular version, heated seats and ventilated seats. So that's a nice touch if you want to add in an option. Heated steering wheel. You can turn everything off. We can put on a recirculating. We can go, let's see, where do I want to go? We could go back to, there's your fan, blower fan. Let me hit our Mustang button here. Love this setup because you could spin it to win it. You got your auxiliary gauges and you got your track apps and your cluster theme. So you got a lot of little fun things you could do with your Mustang. Throw it into reverse. Large backup camera. The resolution could be a little bit better, but it's still not too shabby, especially with some of the competition, like the trajectory. And we're right back where we started. Working our way down, you got your dark red start-stop button, a real volume knob, USB-C, USB-A, and a 12-volt. You better invest in a radar detector. I like the way it's got this nice Twinkie tray here, 4 track day Twinkies. There's that 10-speed automatic. I would prefer the 6-speed manual, even though it's the Getrag 6-speed. I still would prefer that over this guy. 2 cup holders, your Mustang key fob with the buttons on the back. Soft touch material with the stitching. Open it up, you got another 12-volt, and you could put, I would say, 4 of the smaller cans of V8 juice. What I would do is if you have any buddies and you go to like a cars and coffee event or a track day or a drag strip, let them have a taste of V8. They can't get the V8 underneath the hood, but give them a taste so they could say that they had a V8. And then the seats, the leather, the stitching, manual back, which is idiotic, but you do have electric bottom. And then of course, you still have some room in the back, more room than a Supra or a Z, because guess what? Those cars don't have back seats. So go figure. But when you're comparing it to the new Charger 6-pack, they got pretty good back seats. Even for the 2-door version, the seats are better in the back. Just saying. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I got a flat bottom steering wheel, which obviously means this is a performance car in this Mustang. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 3 memory seat settings. 3! But what's interesting is that it's just for the bottom portion because the back is manual. You do get on this particular trim, nice Mustang logo, illuminates at night, and the pedal box is almost perfect. Aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle, and then you got a plastic dead pedal. They should make that metal, please. Come on, Ford. Recycle a couple more cans and make an aluminum dead pedal. Seats are superb. Even though these aren't Recaros, they feel great. They're perfect for daily driving, heated and ventilated. Plenty of headroom in here. A lot more headroom than in a Z or a Supra, but not as much room as a Charger. I mean, let's just be honest, Charger has more interior space. Steering wheel, love the leather, the perforated, the smooth. Don't like the horn button. Ugly. Don't like it. I don't like this Mustang rendition, and you can see it looks almost like a bumper on a steering wheel from a bumper car. You do got your mode selector switch. You can do right with your thumbs. Everything else is thumb activated, all flat black. You do have paddles to go up and down the 10-speed automatic, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then of course we got that beautiful gauge cluster, which you can configure 25 different ways from Sunday. I like the track mode setting because I love the way the tech is across the top. Look at that. Yeah, I know the vehicle's on. Duh. Look at that. Yeah, baby. Yes, you got a trunk. You got about 15 cubic feet of space. I don't care about the trunk. Put your junk back there. What I care about, yes, we're gonna go. Let's go on throttle and make this Mustang GT very happy. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Mustang GT. You want performance for the best price? This is the way to go. On throttle, here we go. Look at that. Golly, it just puts you back in your seat. And remember, this is stock. So don't start talking about I could get my Supra to do this by modifying that, or my Z or whatever. We're talking about stock compared to stock compared to stock. 486 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. I, like I said, would prefer to have the manual, but they really did do a better job with the 10-speed automatic. It does shift a lot better than what it did on the S550 platform. Seats are comfy. There's not a ton of grip lateral-wise, but there's a little bit, and they really are comfortable. I mean, that's the bottom line. Heated and ventilated. And you can get Recaros if you wanted to. Like, you could get a base and then throw Recaros in there. But visibility is great. It's the sound. It's the sound. Nothing's pumped in through the speakers. Look at this. God. I can listen to that sound all day long and all night long. It's that good of a sound. Now, I do have it in track mode. That's why you're hearing the revs. They're being held. It's because I have it in track mode. Each mode really differs how this Mustang behaves. It really changes from mode to mode to mode, which is what you want. You don't want all the modes to feel exactly the same. What's the point of that? But on the Mustang, you do. And it's gonna change your steering sensitivity, your throttle sensitivity, and how the transmission and the engine communicate with one another. But even though I'm not a big fan of the supersized screens that they put in here, they are easy to see through the wheel. Like, the digital gauge cluster is very easy to read everything right through the steering wheel. I just wish they would have integrated it somehow a little bit better into the dash. Like, I would take a smaller screen over these larger screens if they were just integrated a little bit better into the dash. But the materials are really nice in here. I'm gonna say it one more time. It comes down to the sound. The sound is where it's at in this Mustang GT, and we're definitely gonna go on throttle, so don't you worry your little head about that. Pulling away from the light. Nice throttle sensitivity, even in track mode. It's nothing too over the top where it's really snatchy. But just no matter where you go, I feel like you just have an amazing experience in a Mustang GT. It's just a really, really amazing experience, even when you're doing your daily driving. Because you're driving, I mean, let's be honest, it's an automotive icon. And the fact that it's never been out of production is also really telling. But going down the road, not too much wind noise. There is a little bit of road noise, but this is a performance car, so if you were expecting, you know, everything to be drop dead silent in here, your expectations are out of whack. And to be honest with you, in a Mustang, I don't want it to be quiet. I want it to be nice and loud, especially when you go like this. On throttle! Yeah! Oh my God, the shifts. I love the way it downshifts. You notice that? When we're slowing down, the 10-speed automatic does a great job of keeping the chassis stable on those downshifts, which is very important because if you're doing any kind of twisty road driving or even a track day or an autocross event, you want the chassis to be stable. Here we go, round and round and round and round. On throttle, here we go. Nice. Look at that. God, it sounds so freaking good. It sounds so good. And it looks so good. And like I said, price of admission, starting price $47,000. There's no other car I could think of in this price point that has this much power, this much performance, this much personality. I mean, that's the other key, is the personality in this thing is unbelievable. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Drops down and we're off. Look at that. All the way up to 7,500 RPM. Woo, doggy. Nice. Super nice. On throttle. God. Such a fantastic car, man. I'm so glad that they still have it, and I'm so damn glad that it still has a V8. Because I couldn't imagine this car only available in an EcoBoost. Not to say the EcoBoost is bad, but like I said, there's no replacement for displacement in that 5-liter V8, man. She sings. Love the downshifts, man. This thing shifts really good for an automatic. I'm surprised more and more every time I get behind the wheel. It really is that telling. Let's go on throttle again, shall we? On throttle, here we go. Getting the power to the ground very effectively, very smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shifter, put it on M. That's manual shift. We're gonna use the paddles and manually shift with the paddles on the back of the wheel. They're a good size. My only thing is that they're plastic. I wish they were metal. That would have been a nice, just a little extra touch. Got a nice gear indicator in the center, right underneath the tack. Let's go from first. Nobody's behind us. On throttle, here we go. Oh yeah, smoke them if you got them. Here we go, look at this. Nice and controllable. Nice. Like a freaking Gatling gun, just like boom, boom, boom. Upshifts and downshifts. The sound though, man. You gotta get the Ford Performance exhaust. It's worth it. Plus the fact that you can make it louder or quieter depending on what mood you're in and who you want to piss off. I piss off everybody. Keep it nice and loud. You got those 6-piston Brembos up front. That's another nice addition. Because remember, it's not just about performance underneath the hood. You also want good braking performance. Sounds so good. Even at barely a quarter throttle, it just sounds good. Damn good. And I remember back in 2015 when they came out with the S550, they got the exhaust a little wrong. It was a little too quiet. But boy, oh boy, they learned. They learned quickly, and this S650, that Ford Performance exhaust lets you hear the performance. But you can see with the downshifts, I mean, I hit the paddle and it immediately downshifts really, really nice. On throttle, here we go. Nice linear torque delivery, super smooth, pulls all the way up to the top, and you're good to go. But speaking about good to go, we need to get back to Walker Ford and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a Mustang Minute. All right, guys, another great day all the time here at Walker Ford when we get behind the wheel of a Mustang. Definitely want to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, and the rest of the crew getting us this 2025 Ford Mustang GT. Is it the most affordable performance car, that V8 performance car? Let me know down in the comment section what your thoughts are. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Got to give it up to the Flood man. He's got his floodlight on. Stephen Flood, working that camera like a champ. Show him some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.